Talking about crackheads?
No.
Crackheads are off limits?
Yeah, and crystal meth is off limits.
How about pregnant hookers?
Maybe sex trafficking. Because it is a fiesta.
What does that have to do with it? This is a party?
How many underage prostitutes can you get in the 40s?
How about
How many Mexicans?
how about people that sell them crack pipes? How about people that sell those little bags of heroin?
How about
Of course, you're not filming me.
how many Mexicans can you get in your fiesta?
How many dead ones?
Can you get more dead Mexicans and more live Mexicans in Ford Fiesta?
I swear to God, we could do this right now. We don't even need a fucking trip. We could just like film this right now. Get it over with. I'll send it in. How many how much money do you win if you hit?
Did she tell you that?
I heard that the Ford Fiesta is the cheapest Ford that they have. Is that true?
Yeah.
Is it? Did you actually know about the Ford Fiesta?
Yeah, my neighbors had one.
I'm not gonna be fucking driving around in no
And then
Ford
they got,
Fiesta.
and then they had a baby, and then they got a Ford Fiesta station wagon. And then my friend who's a carpenter drove up, and
Why are
his
you
Ford.
yelling?
Like, dude, man, like, I can't do this, but like, you can
If
only,
the Ford Fiesta is the most low budget car, I'm not driving the Ford Fiesta.
So then my carpenter showed up in his Ford Fiesta. My neighbor said, "Don't you love your Ford Fiesta?"
Are they really? Did they really?
Yeah, they have like people that drive Ford Fiestas. They're like bonded over their cheap American.
How cheap are you talking?
I don't know. Can you look on your iPhone to see how much they can search? Do a
Now?
search on prices. Yeah. You know, you don't have a car. You can.
I have no concept of what a car would cost. Cheap could be $30,000. It could be $50,000.
Do you remember watching what's that The Price is Right show when you were a kid? How much was a car back then? They were like $3,000.
Were they? How much is a Ford Fiesta now? Like, what's a cheap car? You must know that.
I'd say
8,000. 8,000?
No, maybe 12,000.
They want me to be driving around in some $12,000 car and bragging about it. That shit better get
Well,
pimped.
not you because you can talk and drive at the same time.
They have better pimp that shit if they want me driving it. I want a hood ornament on it. Made of gold.
Like a sombrero?
Usually those kinds of cars, Jen, are like for old people.
Not these. These are for new families.
So why are they trying to make it cool? Why do they want me to do it? It was for a new family.
They want your perspective.
You don't even know who they're asking. I'm like the person that just got their driver's license recently and drove probably like 2% of the time with most drivers and has been sued for $1 million for driving.
By who?
A guy in New Orleans. Monday night, had to pay him $1 million.
What did you do?
I went through a stop sign.
And you hit him?
He hit me. But the police report, you know that story.
No.
Verbatim, I was like, I could have killed somebody. They never should have given me the license in the first place, and they should never let me behind the wheel of a car again. I got my license for this job. My brother hooked me up. I came back from New York. I went to the registry. I got my permit and my license like 2 days later. Did my driver's test. Went on this job to New Orleans. Danny had given me some pointers on how to drive. I remember asking him, so when you come to a stop sign, like how long am I supposed to fucking sit here? Like if there's whatever. And he's like, all right, Michelle, you go, all right, you get to the stop sign, you stop, and then you go S-T-O-P, and then you go. So I did it.
That's cute.
So we're shooting some Hustle Guard magazine. We're in this like amazing house, whatever. And we needed some hardware at the hardware store, whatever, nails or something. So I jumped in the editor's car. And I go, and I'm driving, right, whatever. I come to a stop sign, I talking about how well it went, right? Blow to the next one. The fucking pickup truck is coming this way really fast. So it was either if I stepped on the brakes, he would have hit me. So I sped up and he just flipped me in the back. Spun around, whatever. I didn't even have my license on me. I left it back at the house. So I get out of the car and it's like in the middle of like the four-way intersection. People hanging out with their soups. I mean, this is New Orleans, like a poor section in New Orleans. Tons of people parked. This guy gets out of his pickup truck, big hat on, cowboy hat, screaming at me. You know, whatever, in that accent. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I could have killed you. I don't really drive. I just got my license for this job. I work for, I'm from New York. I do it, da-da-da. And I'm like, they're calling the cops. I'm like, I don't have my license. I'm like, I'll be right back. I went all the way back to the house. Don't tell anyone, right? Grab my wallet, run back. By the time I have a fucking cold sore like this, erupted on my face. I get there. The cop wasn't there yet. I sit down on the stoop. The guy's like at this point, like right before the cop comes, the big cowboy has his arm around me. He's like, baby doll, people get into wrecks. You need to calm down, whatever. I was like, freaking out. The cop comes, takes his statement. He winks with me because he feels bad, right? So I say, on the police report, like I told you, I don't know why they ever gave me a license. I just got it for this job. I could have killed him. They should never let me behind the wheel of a car. Like,
oh my God.
Like they should never give me my license.
They shouldn't have let you speak.
Right. So the thing was fine. Like, so I go back, the whole thing, we have to, like, the police report, the editor has to find out. Everyone, the photo shoot is, like, all, like, this is drama. We go out to dinner, everyone's talking about it. It was a blast. Like, everyone was so psyched to have something to talk about. End up, go back to New York, whatever. 2 weeks go by. The guy must have found out that I was working for Condé Nast, sued me for $50,000, sued the photographer for $500,000, sued Condé Nast for $1 million. And for the next fucking 6 months, like, I would be in four-way state calls, like 18 people call me, connect me with, like, New Orleans, DC, and Boston. And I'd be in a deposition for like 2 hours, like 3 different times. I'd be sitting there like, okay, and then like lawyers were trying to like trip me up. Meanwhile, like Hertz hired me, my lawyer. They were paying for my lawyer because they got sued too. I don't fucking know.
Does Hertz own Condé?
Does
Hertz own Condé Nast?
No, Hertz was the.
Oh, Hertz the car rental.
Yeah. So I would be sitting there like smoking a cigarette. I'd be like, okay, what part do you think I'm lying about? I said I did it. I came to the stop sign. Thank you. I stopped at the next one. I didn't, and I blew through it. So, after like 6 months, 9 months, the guy won. He got $1.5 million. I think it probably took him a couple of years. But
so he must have lied and said he was physically damaged.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I told my dad like about the police report. This is when I got back. I didn't even think anything of it, and I told him what happened. He goes, "You told him it was your fault?" The cop, and I was like, well, Dad, what's my fault? And he was like, my dad's a lawyer. He's like, Michelle, I know he wasn't telling me that I should lie, but thank you.
Wow, that was so good.
He's like, you shouldn't tell them that, like, you could have killed somebody. Or that, like...
Yeah, but you didn't.
I said I could have killed somebody.
I know, but you didn't kill somebody. And we could all kill somebody.
Well, the thing was, he hit me. So apparently he should have been at fault. But because I was just like so adamant in how much it was my responsibility, that...
Did he give you any of the money?
No, I never said anything. Pretty nice. I was like working for them, like on jobs the next week. Like they didn't even give it.
He should have at least given you $500,000.
I didn't have any touch. I wasn't in touch with him. I'm sure he was on like an insurance rut for like a couple of years. He probably got a drinking problem. I mean, he had to like pretend he was out of work for like the whole time.
Wow.
But the funniest thing is like Condé Nast could care fucking less. Like,
well, their insurance paid for it.
Yeah, and my insurance paid for it, and whoever's like the photographer didn't care. Like, it's just like us people in New York not giving a fuck, right? And that's kind of like good for him for getting it. I mean, I think it's kind of uncool, but he was probably like turned into an alcoholic, but sitting at home.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yum! Oh my God, Jen, you have to try these mashed potatoes.